Who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Woo-wee! Welcome to episode 80 of the Dirt Life Show. We have an awesome show for you guys tonight. Man, I can't even believe it's episode 80. This is fantastic for the Dirt Life Show, and I appreciate all of our audience members for joining in, all the fans. We've had such a good, maybe like a year and a half so far. So I appreciate everybody. We got episode 80, and we want to have at least 80 more. So thank you guys very much. We have an awesome show, like I said, for you guys tonight. In the studio, right next to me on my left, we got, it's going to be co-host extraordinaire very soon. We got Rob McLogan in.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be here, man. Thanks a bunch.
And if anybody doesn't know who Rob is, Rob's had a long-standing relationship with a bunch of good companies in the industry. Now he works for Liquimoly. Prior to that, he worked for K&N Air Filters, which is also a supporter of Jerett Brooks, who's our featured guest tonight. So welcome, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
It's pretty cool to have you in the studio. You live, kind of up the street from us, so it was nice to talk with you a little bit today and have tacos.
Yeah, that was rad. Yeah, you just kind of hit me up this morning like, hey, man, we got a scheduling issue. Can you come down and be the co-host? And I was like, sure, yeah, I'll do that.
That's perfect, man. So it'll be neat to get a little bit of your story, too. So like I said, Rob has a long-standing, jobs, I guess, in the industry. So it's really cool. And most of the jobs that you do, though, are like marketing type of jobs, right?
Yeah, right now I do like a lot of digital marketing and partnerships, like management and stuff for Liquimoly. And with K&N, it was more just like social media.
Yeah, so one thing I got to recommend is don't ask Rob for a sponsorship tonight. That's not the way to do it. So
you got to email me.
Yeah, email him and make it professional. Listen to the whole show, go through the whole thing, understand what he likes and doesn't like, and then give him an email. But yeah, so thank you very much, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
So tonight's show, like I said, is episode 80, and we have, it's just going to be awesome because it turned out that we had a couple guests cancel, and then Jerett Brooks, who's going to be our featured guest tonight, had some issues that I'm going to let him talk about in his motorsports program. Nothing bad or anything, but he wasn't able to come to the studio like we had planned.
Right.
So we're going to totally change up the way that we're going to do the interview. We used to do, when I lived in Arizona, we used to do a lot of virtual stuff, like on the big screen with people doing FaceTime calls. But today, we're going to try to step it up and see if we can do an Instagram Live inside our YouTube and Facebook Lives. What do you think the chances are?
A few hoops. I mean, we're going to see. Maybe we can make it happen.
All right. Well, being a marketing person, have you ever seen anybody do this?
I don't believe I have. That's the first.
We'll just pretend like we're on the forefront of all this social media stuff.
Groundbreaking, man. This is it. First time ever you're seeing it here.
Yeah, exactly. But if we do fail, you guys can laugh at us or talk crap to us and let us know how bad we did. But yeah, so tonight we're going to talk about a few different things with Jerett and also with our other guests. We got Tatum Forrester, young Razor 170 racer, is going to come in or call in and do Instagram Live with us. And Myles Cheek is also going to be doing an Instagram Live with us a little bit later, too. The reason I wanted them to come on and talk with Jerett and us was because Jerett did what he calls Camp Racer. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of giving back to the off-road community, and he's helping teach the new kids.
Awesome.
So Jerett's a 5-time Shortcourse Offroad Racing champion, so who better to learn from if you want to get into racing, right?
That's a fact.
Dude, so we're going to see how Myles did, and he helped out with Jerett at the school. It was really cool to see him out there offering his professional advice, and Tatum did fantastic out there too because he was one of the students. And I even talked to his dad actually over the weekend, and they had a race, and he's like, man, he learned so much just from that one weekend with Jerett. So
awesome.
We're also going to do some fun stuff. We're going to give you guys the chance to win some Boxo tools. Boxo is an awesome company. You can see this big old huge toolbox behind me. But they are going to give you guys, they have a 122-piece tool set they want to give away. And it's funny because they're giving away a 13-piece 10mm rescue kit. And the funniest part about that is do you know the joke? Every single guy loses the 10mm.
Oh, always, yeah.
Like,
always.
Where the hell is the 10mm, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you can't. Yeah, there's no excuse now. You got a whole kit.
Yeah, exactly. The 10 millimeter rescue kit. That's like the perfect tool right there.
Absolutely.
And this 122 piece actual tool kit that you could probably fit in your car, your truck, or anything. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. That giveaway is going to be launching on social media either tomorrow or Wednesday. So thank you very much to Lucas and all the guys at Boxo for allowing us to do this and give it to you guys. So we're stoked to be able to offer those things to you guys. In fact, kind of jealous because I want that.
Yeah, man, it's a pretty cool kit. I was just looking at the pictures right now. Look pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, all the stuff that they have in it.
Definitely.
So, one of the highlights of this show is going to be, I think we'll probably pick, because Tatum's young, he'll probably know all the answers to these things, but we'll probably take you, Myles Cheek, and Jerett Brooks, and we'll do Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader question.
Oh, man. Here we go.
So we had some awesome questions submitted by one of our favorite people, fan of the show, Caden Danbury. He's also been a guest on the show, and he has some awesome questions. Here, I'll give you a sneak peek. Oh, that's it. That's all you get.
See, I missed it. I was looking at you. And
so you can't have the answers. And we're also going to talk about a couple other things. We're going to talk about the Great American Short Course races that happened over the weekend here. It was really cool to see all of the we'll call them displaced Lucas racers have a place to go now.
100%, yeah.
So that was really cool. And, we should just get right into it. But before we get into it, I got to thank everybody for joining the show and watching with us. Looks like we got a couple people logging in. But please comment in anytime. We're going to have the Instagram Live starting at 5:30. So you guys can jump on Instagram if that's easier for you. But you can always check us out on Facebook and YouTube Monday nights at 5 p.m. We always have a live show on Monday nights at 5 p.m. And you can always catch the archives anytime you want when you're working in the shop, on your iTunes and your Spotify, Amazon, all those different platforms, even Pandora. And you can always visit us on social media at The Dirt Life Show. Instagram is usually the best way. You can slide into our DMs. We don't get mad at that kind of stuff. And if you want to talk with Rob, what's your personal social media? Do you want to give that out?
The Real Rowdy Rob.
The Real Rowdy Rob. You can see a lot of the stuff. He's always blocking all the hate with his sunglasses.
The heat waves, man.
Yeah, the heat wave visual.
Good product.
And then I think it's Liquimoly _
Liquimoly.usa.canada.
Oh, okay. So you guys can go check out the Liquimoly page as well. I think the one I tagged was Liquimoly Motorsports or
Powersports,
something.
yeah.
Powersports,
yeah. It's all good. Yeah, that's Jason Hess who runs that account, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys can always check out the Liquimoly stuff. We got some Liquimoly stuff here on in the studio. What is that stuff, actually?
Well, this is our Jectron, our fuel injector cleaner. It's easy as heck, man. It comes with its own funnel. You fill up your tank. It's got easy-to-read instructions. You just pop it off, screw the funnel on.
Does it work for gas motors or diesel motors? Or
it's gas. This one's formulated for gas. Yeah, it's really good. Cleans out the injector and just gets them flowing. This is our...
Dude, I like these cans. It reminds me of the Red Bull stuff.
Dude, yeah, it's kind of like... just don't drink them.
Yeah.
Don't drink them. But, we got our little... our flagship product really is our MOS2. It's an anti-friction additive to the oil that really does a good job, yeah. I mean, it was actually originated in World War II. They used it in their fighter planes so that if they got shot full of holes, they would have enough running time on the engine to be able to find a safe place to land. So it's like legit, historically, tried stuff.
So it just coats the stuff?
I'm sorry?
It coats the engine parts?
Yeah, just like light coating and stuff. Yeah, it's just a nice anti-friction additive, and yeah, it's just great stuff. And we got our little shooters for Powersports too. These are safe to use with like wet clutches and
oil additive MOS2 shooter. These things look cool, man.
Oh, they're rad. Yeah, 1 per liter. So
right on.
Yeah, it's great stuff, man.
Yeah, so you guys should check it out. You guys can always go to Liquimoly on the web, too, and check out all their cool products. But I would definitely suggest looking at their social media stuff. They have even some cool stuff that you might not have seen. That I've seen superbike stuff or street bike stuff. I've seen street car stuff. So I always like looking at that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we cover quite a wide range of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay, so and the show has many sponsors that we're really, really stoked to be a part of us. The guys over at Shock Therapy, I got my Shock Therapy shirt on today, so thank you to Justin and all those guys for always being a part of the show. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com, and you can save a whole bunch of money on anything that they make. They make steering racks for your UTV. They make uplinks for your sway bar. They make all kinds of cool stuff, man. And you can always get your suspension done and have their ride improvement system. But use the code DIRTLIFE when you give them a call or on their website, and you can save a whole bunch of money. Thank you to the guys at KMC Wheels. You can see that KMC grenade wheel up here in the Boxo toolbox. That thing is sweet, man. We got the YXZ laced up with some of those bad boys with some EFX tires. So thank you to both of those companies for being a part of the show. We're actually going to have Ryan Edwards of KMC on the show next week as well. So it'll be good to see him and catch up with him, see how he's doing. Thank you to the guys over at Zollinger Racing Products. They've always been a supporter of the show. And like I say, every show, man, they're elevating the game with the UTV products that they make. It's kind of hard to see on camera with that side cover that's machined up there in the top of the Boxo toolbox, but that thing is a piece of art, man. It is built on, I think, a 5 or 6 axis machine out of a solid chunk of aluminum. Those things are just insane. So the stuff that those guys are doing over there is phenomenal. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com, get any of their products and save some money. Thank you to the guys over at CryoHeat. Those guys have been doing an awesome job making Pro Mod transmissions. I know that they're working with some people that we actually had on the show. Adam Fitzel, he's going for a land speed record in a Razor, trying to hit maybe 120, 130 miles an hour. And I think
cooking.
Yeah, dude, especially in a UTV.
Yeah.
And he's going to put his wife in the driver's seat. Can you believe it?
Jeez.
I know, right?
That's insane.
Well, she's little. She's a lot less weight than
less
him.
weight so it can go faster. Yeah, good for her.
But the guys at CryoHeat are making it so that thing will have less rolling resistance. So less rolling resistance, the faster you go, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And thanks to the guys over at Solderweld. Solderweld's been a big supporter of the show since day one. They make awesome off-road repair kits. They make welding blankets that obviously have a little slit in them so you can put them anywhere. So visit the guys over at solderweld.com. Get yourself an off-road repair kit that you can repair your race or your ride, and use the code DIRTLIFE and save a whole bunch of money with those guys. So thanks for listening to my spiel with the sponsors. Let's talk about that that Great American Short Course race that happened this weekend, man. You know about the Lucas races, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. From my time at K&N, I definitely am no stranger to that area, and you know, I've spent a lot of time at Glen Helen and stuff, working with guys like R.J. Anderson, Jeff Shelton, guys like that.
Yeah, so at K&N, you guys had a bunch of good drivers, right?
Yeah. We had some pretty solid guys up there. R.J. won a couple championships when we were running our product back then, and yeah, it was great.
That's really cool to see, and that means that you were probably at the races almost as much as most of the racers then, no?
You would think, but yeah, not necessarily. I would have not as much as I would like to have been. I mean, if it was up to me, I could have been at every race, and I would have never got tired of it. But I was at quite a few races, and it was an awesome experience. Always a great time, and it was such a bummer to hear about Lucas, shutting it down. But then when I was actually listening to your marketing episode like 6 weeks ago, and you had I forget his name, but he was
Alex Streiler.
Yes, he was getting it all together for this short course series, and I was like, man, that's awesome, because that was the talk, is that what are all these guys in SoCal going to do with all these trucks they've built for racing and no series to race them in?
Yeah, especially the little kids, right?
Oh yeah,
there's all these displaced racers, but it's nice to see. Actually, on that same Alex Streiler topic, John Lewis commented in and said, "And don't email asking for a sponsorship until you have read Alex Streiler's book."
Fact.
So, actually, you should go check that out. A few episodes, look for that episode with Alex Streiler. He did a fantastic job explaining how to get sponsored and things like that. So, that's a perfect way to say it, John. Go listen to his episode with us, or read his book and check it out. I think he's actually doing webinars now too, which is really cool. Yeah. But he brings people like yourself and like different marketing people on his webinars, and they say the exact same thing. Don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this. Yeah,
I got to tell you, like when you had Matt Martelli on there, that guy was a vault of information. I was at the gym. I was at a plane ride. I was coming back from a Trans Am race in Sebring. Oh, nice. And I was listening to the podcast, and I was just like, yes, amen. Like, he's talking about, the difference between a marketing deck and a proposal, and, all that. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, he gets it. And obviously, the guy's a stud, but it's good to, like, get it in a format where people can hear it and go, okay, that's what I need to do.
Well, not only that, but like, you guys have the same mindset, right? And you have the same work. I don't want to say the same tasks, but the same places to go and understanding of the same tasks to do, right?
Right, yeah.
So it probably aligns really good with the same stuff that you do on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah. Well, like all the stuff he was saying, and a couple of the other guys that we had on here that were talking about, what goes into, how to get a partnership and what, these companies are looking for. I was like, man, nailing it.
That's so good, man. Yeah. What was one of the things that you got from that episode that you thought was valuable?
Just having a marketing deck is huge. Like I'll get an email or a DM in our social media platform on Instagram or Facebook, and they'll be asking, hey, like I do this kind of racing, I'd really like a sponsorship. And I'm like, okay, well, what kind of metrics do you have? Shoot me your Instagram, your social media handles, and some of your, data, some of your metrics on how many followers you're getting, what's your engagement like, impressions, and shoot me your marketing deck. Shoot me your deck that has all that. And
then just crickets or what?
No, want Yeah. I've actually had a couple, I'm not ruthless with it, man, because I love racing. I know people want to do the right thing, and they want, this is their dream.
Yeah, and even if they don't know how to do it, you at least try to guide them.
Yeah. So I actually had, I believe it was a young lady a couple weeks ago, reached out to me, and she was, I told her, marketing deck and a proposal, and she goes, okay, well, what exactly are you guys looking for? I'm really new to this. And I said, oh, no worries. Here, and I actually posted a link to your marketing and partnerships episode that we were just talking about. And I just laid down to her, a paragraph or two on here's what companies are looking for, man. Get that content. What's your social media like? You got to get it out there,
That's really cool. Well, thank you for referring her over to that, too.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, people can get help from the Dirt Life Show. It's really neat to be able to understand that, I don't know what you want to call it. From a racer standpoint, I was always fighting because I was like, okay, I'm going to send these decks, I'm going to do this stuff, whether it's digital or print or whatever it is, and then you just kind of sitting there waiting, and you don't know if the person on the other side is actually going to read it. So it's really cool to hear the stories that you're talking about. You're actually, when people reaching out to you, you're giving them feedback and letting them know what they can do to best benefit themselves.
Yeah, I always try to get back to them and let them know yes or no. Because when I got laid off from K&N this last April, one of the worst things, when COVID happened, one of the worst things of that 6 months of unemployment was filling out all those applications and just not hearing back from anybody, dude. Yeah. And just the helplessness and the frustration. Obviously, it's not quite the same, but it's very similar in that a lot of these guys depend on that money to go racing. And I just feel like it's the right thing to do to let them know. You know?
Yeah, be transparent with all your communications. So that's actually a really, really good point. If you were listening to this conversation and you understood that Rob said that, that means that you already have an in because you were listening to what he said. That means he's transparent, and you can utilize that in your marketing decks because you can be transparent with him and be start off the conversation in a good way if you want to help get sponsored with Liquimoly. So thanks for giving us that insight, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
that's super, super cool. All right, so since we were talking about that, we're going to keep talking a little bit about the Great American Short Course Series, but let's kind of start by transitioning in by saying giving back to the off-road community, because you're kind of giving back to the racers by helping them with their marketing a little bit, right?
It's funny. I never even looked at it that way.
But you got to understand they don't get that from anybody else.
True.
So, how about very many other people? We'll say that. So it's really cool that you're doing that. And Jerett Brooks, our featured guest tonight, is also doing those same things.
Awesome.
He's a 5-time short course champion, like we said, and he's establishing this camp racer. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's just basically teaching all the kids how to drive, all of the stuff that he's learned over his many years of racing, and he's giving all that information to the kids.
Awesome.
And I don't know how much it costs to attend the school, but when I was there, all I was doing was just being the media guy, right? Filming and stuff. But you should have seen the smile on these kids' faces and the information that they were relaying. Aspen, Jerett's soon-to-be wife, was giving information on the marketing stuff like you're talking about. This is what you do with sponsors. And it was really helping all the parents.
Awesome.
And it was helping the younger racers. And then Tanner, I don't know what position he has, I will call him the crew chief at Jerett Brooks' program, was giving all the information to the parents and the spotters and things like that to give them basically just a book on how to operate successfully. When I was racing short course, I would have loved to have had that.
Right. Insider info from the best, man.
Dude, it was
awesome.
like a Bible to be successful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, giving back like that is just so valuable, and it's so great because a lot of these parents, they might not have even grown up racing and stuff. Not everyone comes from racing families, so they want to be able to learn to put their kid in a position to get on that podium.
100%. And I also think there's a lot of there's different ways that people do it. Some people don't have enough money to fund their program. Some people, have parents that have money, but they're working on their business, so they don't understand the racing portion of it.
Right.
There's all kinds of different ones, and it was neat to see because all those parents took the information differently. And Jerett and his team, Aspen and Tanner and everybody, was able to feed them information, answer their questions, just like you are when somebody calls you.
Right. Right. That's awesome.
I know. It was really cool to see, man. And I love that the kids had a smile on their face all day. It was so cool.
Racing will do that.
Yeah, exactly. They did it out at this track called TCB Ranch out here in Temecula, or behind Temecula. I think it's Anza. But it was super cool because there's like a short course track out in the middle of the hills.
Rad.
Yeah, and I didn't even know about it. It's
Yeah,
like
I've never heard of it.
20 minutes from my house.
Awesome.
So had I known that, I could have moved here way earlier.
Could have been doing all kinds of stuff there, yeah. When you were back racing and ripping it up in your UTVs.
Yeah. Oh, well, now I get to go rip it up like a trail guy, but
there you go.
That's still cool. I still need oil to do it.
I mean, shoot. Liquimoly is best in the business, baby. Best oil and additives.
And I know a guy, too, so maybe I can get some help, right?
Yeah.
So Camp Racer was really cool, and I want to talk to Jerett a little bit about what he thought about it because it was their first annual one, and Myles Cheek was out there helping the kids too. I really, honestly, when I was out there, I was thinking to myself, this information is so invaluable or valuable to everybody. I would have loved to have had something like this. I mean, Myles is younger than me, Jerett's younger than me, but they know way more than I will ever know because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, and they've been in touch with those people who also know and who have had a chance to teach them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Jerett and I also have a kind of like a connection that he doesn't know about, but a guy named Brett Carpenter was used to help manage Jerett's program.
Okay.
Brett worked for a company called Rigid Industries, and now he's the race team manager for Polaris. And Brett's actually who saved my life when I got in the crash a couple years back.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird, the whole off-road community, how it kind of sticks together.
So small.
Dude, it really is, right? What's one of the funnest race or events that you've been to in the off-road world so far with Liquimoly?
With Liquimoly? Well, actually,
K&N, you went to everything.
I've only been here 6 months, so for
and
me,
with COVID, yeah.
Yeah, and so we're just now getting started again. So I mean, I can't wait till this next race in Glen Helen with the Great American Short Course. That's going to be awesome. But as far as events, I mean, I've only really been to that one race in Sebring because Trans Am was the only one letting anybody in the paddock that wasn't on the team.
Dude, that track looks so sweet.
Oh, it's awesome. It's brutal though because it's an old airstrip. It's the original surface.
Really?
So it's all gnarly and yeah, dude, it chews tires and it's the original surface, man. It was such a really cool experience being able to walk, in the paddock, and just legends have raced there, and it was just surreal, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to go out there. Adam Fitza, the one I was just telling you, trying to do the land speed record, he just commented in. He said, "Is that a rhino?" Yeah, Adam, it is a rhino sitting behind us. We're at IMG Motorsports. James is letting us use the workshop here, and that thing is cherry, dude. It's brand new. When I walked in, I was like, dude, I miss my rhinos so much.
You actually turned to me and you were like, man, I need to get another one of these.
Yep.
I was telling him, yeah.
Have you ever ridden in a rhino?
I've never ridden in a rhino.
But you've ridden in a newer UTV.
Oh, yeah. Actually, one of my little gigs, after I graduated from UC Irvine was this freaking agency, this marketing agency called The Armory. I was trying to remember their name. The unveiling of the Wildcat XX.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went down to Glamis and went up to the high desert for some dealer showings and just marketing grunt work, man, just cutting my teeth in the industry trying to build that resume, but had some awesome opportunities to wheel those things and check them out. And,
yeah, those things are actually cool. I love the suspension.
Suspension's unreal.
Well, so we got Stoked to Shred commented in and said, that was such a great information episode. One of my favorites for sure. Awesome job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you, buddy. And, he says, where's the cactus cooler, George? So that'll come at the end of the show. We'll see if any of these other guys that answer the rapid-fire questions answer those that cactus cooler. Everybody picks Dr. Pepper, man. Off-road is Dr. Pepper. Hey, so it's already 5:25. We're going to take a quick commercial break so we can get on Instagram and go live. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll have Jerett Brooks.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like, let's say, a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah, also as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's
the
It's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that, if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we are back. Thank you so much for you guys joining us. We got our Instagram live way up here. You guys won't be able to see it, but we're going to try and get Jerett Brooks to join in just a second here. I might have to get up and not be sitting in my seat just the whole time here. But, so we're going to try to read the comments as good as we can. I don't know if you can see those, but they're a little hard for me to read because the screen's so far back.
Somebody said just Camp Racers was a blast.
Yeah, it really was. So
great job, Jerett.
He did a good job, man.
Yeah.
I still think it's so awesome that he was able to get all those people out there and have such a great time with everybody. Let me see if I can actually add Jerett in here. I'm not sure how it's actually going to go, but we'll see if if we can actually make this happen pretty good here. So
I got faith, baby.
yeah, I got faith too. Instagram Live inside it says waiting for Jerett. So see if he comes on here. But we're going to try to see if we can get him on and then put him on the big screen for you guys to be able to see. It was really neat.
There he is.
Dirt Life. There he is. Okay, so let me see if we can put him on the big screen right now. Jerett, can you hear us, buddy? Let's see if he can hear us when we do this. Jerett, can you hear us, buddy?
No,
I got you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, cool. It looks like there might be a little
I
bit.
froze for a second.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit of a delay. So, all right, let's see if we can move that over. Would you mind like pushing that thing over a little bit, Rob, like in the center of the screen? But then we can get going and have a little bit of fun with Jerett. We got Myles Cheek's going to call in a little bit here. So, what's been happening? Go a little bit more, Rob, like maybe in the middle of the screen here. What's been happening up there, Jerett? You got some things going on with your race program?
Yeah, man, we're actually here at Croyers right now, up at the chassis dyno, getting ready to head out on the East Coast in a couple weeks, man. So racing full time on the East Coast, pretty gnarly. It's a lot of work that we really weren't expecting, but got a good team and gonna go for it.
It's pretty cool that you guys are actually switching it up. I think that East Coast stuff is like, or the Midwest, I guess you could call it, is a really cool place to be able to race, man. Those tracks look awesome out there.
No, I'm for sure excited. I raced out there actually in 2014, and dude, that was the most fun I've ever had. It's a full different lifestyle over there. The tracks are totally different. The fans are into it. You know, we race out here on the West Coast, and everyone does desert. Everyone goes to, the motocross tracks where the fans back there, that's all they have. And it really hypes up the racers, gives us something to look forward to when we go back there.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, let me take a step back here real quick because I wanted to do a good introduction for you. I was hoping that we could do it when you're in the studio, but you had to take care of some stuff. So let's pretend like Jerett hasn't started talking yet. Okay. All right, we got Jerett Brooks, the 5-time short course racing champion in both Pro 2 and Pro Light, a 2-time X Games athlete, a father, and now racing teacher to young and up-and-coming racers. Welcome, Jerett Brooks.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. Sorry I missed it today, dude. I know I was supposed to be in the studio. And a Monday morning, man. What a Monday morning. Came into the shop and noticed we had a little bit of a issue where I had to get it figured out. And we leave. We go back on the East Coast to race full time starting in June. We go back there second week of May. So had to get stuff figured out and, just had to get this race program figured out. So we came up to Croyers, figured it out at like 9 o'clock this morning. We were supposed to come tomorrow in dyno, but we're up here. We got Matt and Kevin and Tanner tearing off the manifold right now and resealing the thing. So just trying to, be as prepared as we can for this year. And we need to start testing soon. We haven't tested since the end of last season, so we haven't tested since I haven't drove the truck in like 6-7 months.
Oh wow, really? We got
it's been a while. I actually was able to drive my old Pro 2 last weekend at TCB Ranch, and that felt good, man. That was so much fun getting back into Pro 2 and wheeling my old Pro 2 around. It was so much fun.
Dude, I bet. Plus that track looks cool because it's got those little different elevations and stuff.
Yeah, no, that track's actually really sick, man. That TCB Ranch, those guys do a rad job at prepping the track. And it's actually like pretty similar to like an East Coast track because it's tight, but then you got long straightaways and it's a super soft base of dirt. So, I mean, it's a pretty fun track if you just want to go out and go do some laps for cheap because you go to Glen Helen, it's pretty expensive to rent. Obviously, we do race there, so that's why we like to test there. But it was cool to go to somewhere else and, that for this year, we're not even going to test at Glen Helen because we don't race there this year. We're going to go back on the East Coast and go test some tracks out there. And, driving these trucks and testing these trucks isn't cheap. So every time we run the truck, it's pricey. So that's why we want to go test on a track. We're actually going to be racing at a track I haven't been to and just try to prepare as best we can.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a bunch of comments coming in. It's a little hard for us to read them and see, but if you guys, if we didn't answer your comments on the way while we're going through this, you guys can always jump on Facebook too, because it's a little bit easier for us to see because we got the whole setup up here. But you're more than welcome to stay on Instagram. If we don't answer your comments, please just keep hitting us up. You can hit us up in the DMs. You can always ask Jerett comments later as well. So, man, it was really cool to see that you were giving back to all the kids at that Camp Racer, man. Like, you and I had talked probably, 2-3 months ago. You had to reschedule it a couple times just because COVID BS and things like that. But when I saw the smile on the families, like the moms and the dads and the kids, brothers and sisters, everybody, and then at the end of the day, you, Aspen, Tanner, everybody on your team, it was phenomenal. Like, I was like, holy cow, this turned out so much better than I think anybody expected.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for that. It was more of Aspen. Aspen really wanted to, she loves kids, and, I obviously love kids now too, but, it was her idea to put this on, and had to envision. I'm like, okay, it sounds cool. We'll do this. And then once you get into it, when you start thinking about, okay, how am I going to make an impact on these kids, and what am I going to do different? I actually went to a camp when I was younger. I went to the Kyle Duke camp, and it was me, Sheldon Creed, Myles. There was a bunch of big hitter kids, and we just went there for fun, and it was a blast. I still remember to this day, and that's kind of what I wanted to make for these kids, but I wanted to go more extreme. I wanted to, obviously I had a lot of help. So thank you to Tanner, Nick, Aspen, Garrett George came out there, video. TCB Ranch was awesome help, and they did a phenomenal time with the track. So, just to get into it, we started out this camp, had it envisioned. First of all, I wanted to do a 2-day event because a lot of people wanted to come from Arizona. So I'm like, okay, I got to make it worth these parents of coming out. So I was doing a 2-day event at Glen Helen, and then the price range was, I don't know, I didn't want to do like a backstabbing price range to these parents. So I'm like, you know what, it's too expensive. We're going to do that TCB Ranch. They're local. I want to get their name out there. I like helping small tracks and small businesses. So I'm like, let's do it there. It'll be more fitting for a 170. So we had it planned. These 170s legit race every weekend. So trying to find a set date where they're not overlapping races was a mission. So
dude, they're pretty.
We found
hardcore.
a date.
Yeah.
Of course, that date got rained out instantly. I'm like, dang, man, we had all this planned, and now it got rained out. So then I'm like, I honestly thought it was going to be over. I really thought the camp was going to be canceled. And then next thing you know, I had to put it for Easter weekend. I'm like, dude, what parent honestly wants to come out from Arizona on Easter weekend? Like, it's not Easter, but it's the Saturday before Easter. And wow, everyone stuck by me. Like, every parent was like, no, we're in. I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Awesome.
That was cool for us. So, a lot of time went into this. I wanted to make this camp not just racing. There's so much more that goes into racing. I mean, you could win every race out there. And I mean, if you're not, I wanted to show these kids, like, racing, nowadays, like social media and all that stuff is so important. I don't want to get into everything that I went through, but, I want to keep the kids that went to the camp, they know what they learned. So we're going to do more of these. But so Myles Cheek and I were on the track teaching these kids. So we had 13 kids. So we split them into groups of 4 to 5. So one group was with me on the track. Then the other group was with Aspen. So I didn't want any downtime for these kids. One group's with Aspen, learning how to talk on the podiums, talk on interviews. She did all the works hosting. So I'm like, these kids need to learn how to talk on the podium. When I was that age, I couldn't even talk on the podium. And everyone knows how these little kids, it's not nothing bad, but when they get on the podium, they're like, hey, Jimmy, how was your race? He's like, good, which I was the same age. We were all the same, but I just want, like, I know what sponsors look for. Here's little Jimmy, and, he's a badass racer, and he can talk, and, he's like super representable. Dude, those are the kids you want. And, if all the other kids, they're all awesome too. But if they can't if they can win races but they can't talk, all the sponsors want like a little kid that's just a little badass that can talk and be representable. So Aspen went over that, and then Tanner, the other group, kind of went over car setups. Like obviously these kids, they work on their cars a little bit. When I was that age, I didn't really work on my cars and really know anything about it. I just drove the thing. So I kind of went into, Tanner went over like car setups, just trying to find a little bit of speed and explaining to these kids like, hey, if you guys know your cars and you guys have like, and say like a sponsor comes up to you and you guys can go up to them and say, oh yeah, I know we changed gearing on our car just because we wanted to be a little bit faster. Like that's cool. These kids, if the kid knows like what to do on the race car, that's just going to help them out so much more. And I've been racing since I was like 8 years old. And until I learned about like, setups, all that stuff, I wasn't probably 15 years old. So my second year in Pro Light is when I actually started learning about, okay, this will make me faster. This is more comfortable. So just kind of want to teach them like, hey guys, if you know about your cars, it's going to be a lot easier if you explain to your parents, like, what are you feeling? The parent doesn't know.
Yeah.
He can't see the whole track most of the time at these works. So it's like, I just kind of wanted to just give every aspect to these kids that, there's just a lot more that goes into it than just winning races.
It was super cool. And like I was actually telling people a little bit before you came on that you had 3 different people. You had Tanner helping out with talking about behind the scenes, like spotting and doing different things like that, giving suggestions to either the family or friends, whoever's spotting for the children. And then Aspen was doing the marketing stuff. And then you were out there on track with Myles helping everybody. It was really cool to see, man. I haven't seen it done like that in the past. And honestly, when I left there, you guys are both younger than me. You, Myles, well, actually everybody there was younger than me. But it was really cool because I was like, man, I could have learned so much from this. Like, I talked with Brian Forrester, Tatum's father, when he was on his way home. And I was like, some of that stuff was invaluable. Like, there's no way you could ever learn that unless you went and learn from a professional.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff, I hate making excuses, but it's like, if I was to do it all over again, what I would do. So that's what I explained in this whole camp. I mean, I gave these kids, because in reality, these kids are young. They're not going to remember everything I said. It was a lot for the parents too. The parents took in most of the info. So we created a huge pamphlet. I think it was like 14 pages for each kid and parent of everything we talked about throughout the camp. So just try to make it as beneficial as we could. But pretty much if I was to start racing again right now, what I would do different and what I would do if I was these kids to get sponsors one day. And, maybe they're just having fun, but I was just trying to give them, in reality, all of them probably want to be race car drivers when they grow up. So just try to give them every little tip I could.
Hey, we all want to be race car drivers when we grow up.
Hopefully the tips included listening to the Dirt Life podcast because, you have people on who are a vault of information on marketing and partnerships.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jerett, you've had a good, long-standing relationship with K&N Filters. We have Rob from Liquimoly in studio with us, and Rob is formerly of K&N as well. So I don't know if you guys have ever crossed paths before.
I don't know that we have. I've been to the track.
Rob?
Yeah, how's it going, man? Good to talk to you. Yeah, I don't know if I still talk to Tony Yorkman and stuff because now that I'm doing partnerships here with Liquimoly, he was one of the first guys I called, and I was like, man, like, what do I do? Yada, yada, yada. Like, how do you handle this? So, yeah, it's pretty cool people over there at K&N. And, yeah, I worked there for about 2 years, got laid off last April when COVID happened, and yeah, now I'm with Liquimoly, but it's great to see you kicking butt on the track, man.
Hey, so we got to make fun of you real quick. Chris Littlejohn just commented in and said, "Sweet Junko jeans, Rob."
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
These are Wranglers, I'll have you know, sir.
Sporting the Wranglers.
Yeah,
hey,
you bet.
Jerett, so like I said in the intro, man, you've got some really good accolades now. You're a 5-time short course champion, and you were able to compete in the X Games, I think, twice now. Both of those are pretty cool, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the X Games stuff that you did. How did you like that, man? Because when I did the X Games, they treat you like freaking rock stars there. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, that was, I don't remember a lot of stuff, man. Like, I've been so many places with racing, but X Games, man, I think I was 15 years old the first time and 16 years old the second time I went there. And I don't know, man. I grew up watching X Games. Like, X Games was the coolest thing when you were younger. I feel like it's not so hyped up anymore. But when I went there, I kind of, I don't know. I wish I would have taken for granted really what it was. But dude, it was a trip. Like you said, we went to Austin, Texas. Had my whole family come. I mean, 15-year-old kids, so hyped, going to X Games, racing on live TV. That was so rad. So we went there, and yeah, you're treated like rock stars. It was like me, Sheldon Creed, Gavin Harlan. We'd go over to like the what they have it like a athlete lounge. Go over, hang out with all the other athletes. It's like, holy crap, that guy's a full Red Bull kid. We actually went down and stood on the half pipe when they were competing. Like,
nice.
Dude, we got full backstage and all that. And then when we went out and raced, it was tough because that was the same year the rally cars were there. So they had the track super dry slick, and it was dude, it was like asphalt but so slick. And I don't know, it was so much pressure. I just remember, like, man, I was like so like scared to race. There's 20 guys, and they brought all of the best 20 SST racers there, and I'm just like, dude, I hope I get in the main, like, because they cut people short. Like, people weren't making the main. So
yeah.
No, I'm so scared if I'm not going to make the main. And we made the main. I remember I was running third. It was just a chaotic race. I still remember it. We got spun out, made my way through the pack. I know we were running in third. There was like 2 laps to go. And of course, the man himself, Robbie, just comes in and just puts me in the wall.
Oh, dirty.
And I'm like, oh no, like, I'm not letting Robbie just fill me up on TV when we're
ruthless.
a couple laps to go. And then I tried to get him back, and I didn't get to him, but that was cool. I pulled off a 4th for my first year. Then
nice.
The second year was early. I qualified good. Came into the first heat race, and next thing you know, I'm going at it with Abdali Lopez, and that guy, he don't mess around. When you're going against him, it's like gloves off. Like,
oh, really?
Like in my truck. Oh, dude, I've never had any more like gnarly battles where, I mean, dude, that guy throws gloves out. Like, so I just remember I knew we were in the heat. I had to finish second. There was like 4 people in my heat. That was the year Travis Pastrana was there. Ricky Wallace was racing. A lot of the big hitters. So BJ Baldwin. So I'm going at it with Abdali, dude, and we're going for that final transfer. And in the air, we're making contact. Next thing you know, we come into the turn. I rub on him. He rubs on me. Next lap, he just parks it into me.
Oh.
Next thing you know, I don't even know if I still to this day, I don't think we got hung up. He never lifts, and I'm trying to get on the track, never lifts. Takes me, dude, at least 300 feet off the track into the tire barriers.
Because he stayed full wooded when he was smashing into you?
Oh, he's wooded. He's wooded, dude. And we're just stuck in the tire barriers. I'm just like looking at him like, oh my gosh, dude. And I'm like shaking, I just like settled on my, holy crap, I'm shaking right now. It's obviously live TV. Like, this is no joke.
And he's 15 or 16 years old at the time. Like, holy cow. Can you imagine?
Just got dumped and just slammed into the wall.
Yeah, so somehow we got out of there, got in reverse, kept going, and I got the final transfer spot. It was only two. I think there was like 6 heats, but
here you go.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. I think that year we were running 4th again, and then broke an axle, and then it got red flagged. So I think we got 5th. So it was cool. I wish I could do it again. Those SST trucks, dude, those are a blast.
They look super
scary,
fun.
Though. They're scary.
Brett Carpenter commented in and said that was a fun battle. He remembers that. That's neat that you were able to go through that. Like, I did it in 2008, and I did it on 2 wheels. But man, I just remember leaving there like. My race had all kinds of different events and stories like what you're talking about. But I remember leaving there and going, there's no way that I could ever go to another race and feel that important in my life.
Right.
Because they treated you seriously like you were the only person on the planet. It was so awesome. Like, there was nothing like – they didn't roll out a red carpet or anything, but it felt so good. Yeah. Like, everybody knew your name, like all kinds – it was badass, man.
That's awesome.
And I've never had that treatment ever. So – for any of the race organizers, copy that same business model.
100%.
When you left there, were you just like, man, like, what can I do to get in this series, or where you're like, all right, I'm ready to go back to short course racing. Now I've done some serious battling underneath my belt.
The SST is a full different breed, man. You try to drive it like a Pro 2. It's the weirdest car you ever drove. Like, it's the slower you go, the faster you go. In reality, like, you want to go fast, but they're just really hard. Robbie makes them really hard to drive, where that's why I like driving them. I mean, when he goes to the dirt, I love the dirt. It's like driving a Pro 2, but you're obviously in a truck, but it like soaks up stuff better than a Pro 2. And they're really hard to drive. You have to use that handbrake, and they're always on 3 wheels. They're super sketchy to drive. And when you get the feel for them, they're better, but they're very unpredictable. And that's why Robbie likes to drive them. And you for sure, the more seat time you get, the better you'll be. So it's like, hopefully this year, we actually went to Storm Stadium like 2 years ago. That was sick. They sold out the stadium, and it was badass. I mean, it was like you're racing in a full crowded stadium, and I think he's going to go back there this year. So I'm trying to get my foot in the door and go back on the dirt at Storm Stadium.
That's cool. I can't see who the comment came from, but they said hats off to you for putting that Camp Racer and giving back, man. That is really cool that you did that. John Lewis commented in and said, X Games is rad. He was there as a mechanic in 2013, and he even got the treatment. Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see that. Hey, so do you have any questions for Jerett as far as his short course racing career? Because he's had some serious battles, man.
Yeah, who would you say was your toughest competitor over the years? Who's actually, like, just give me a basic, like, top 3 guys that you look at and you're just like, man, like, I know it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, I would say just I started racing in like 2008 in trophy carts, and my family knew nothing about off-road. No one in my family ever raced, and we showed up to these races, and I always looked up to Rob Mack, looked up to Deegan. I was in Junior 1 trophy carts watching these guys race Pro 2s, and I would say since I got in the Pro 2 class, never would have thought I would ever race Pro 2 in my life. Once I got in Pro 2, I'm like, holy crap. But I would say the best battles I ever had was probably my first race with Bryce Menzies. Bryce Menzies, I never really thought I would ever kept up with him. And clubs were off first race. I'm like, I'm going for it. I'm going for the win. A
little bit of door banging.
Even when I look back at that race, like, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing in Pro 2. Like, I was not even, we had a decent truck. I don't think we had the best truck, and we won the first race. And, Bryce Menzies got hooked onto me, and then he took out the Gecko lap. I got a flat tire with Rob McCachran, Jeremy McGrath behind me. I mean, that was cool. And then pretty much after that, since then, I've always had like super gnarly battles with like Deegan, McGrath. But I would say the guy I like to battle with the most is Rob Mack, just because he's still the baddest dude in off road, and he'll race you clean, he'll race you hard, and it's cool to race. It's cool to like look back and like I used to watch him on the track. Like, I was legit in Junior 1 trophy carts at 10 years old watching Rob Mack, and always been my favorite driver. Still probably my favorite driver, but I'm racing against the guy now and going at it with him.
Dude, can you imagine
awesome.
like Jerett's mental attitude, like when he's going around the track, like let's just say he's pitching it in, he kind of slips up and goes up the berm a little bit, and then Rob Mack dives down. He's probably like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's my guy. He's coming in on me.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Brett Carpenter also said that the best race that he ever or that he looks back on is your first Pro 2 win. What do you think?
Yeah, Brett was actually my sponsorship, or my manager at that time. So, dude, we came in. He was finding all my partners and sponsors, and that year we came out defending the Pro Light Championship. So I was racing Pro Light and Pro 2 at that time, and had huge deals. I mean, those were the biggest deals I ever had with budget on all that. And dude, even still, I look back to this day, I'm like, I was 17, 18 years old doing all this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like crazy,
It's wild.
And I don't know. I still look back and just like, dude, just crazy. I was racing Pro 2 at that age, and how long I've been racing. It's like, I look back, I'm like, dude, just insane.
It's got to feel pretty good, though.
Best times.
It's got to feel pretty good, though, because you had so many highlights in your career. I mean, there's been lowlights. Everybody has lowlights, right? But you won your first championship at 17 years old. I mean, that's like a pretty young age to win a pro level championship in a truck.
Yeah, actually, 2014 when I raced Champ Off-Road, or no, it was Torque at the time. I think I won. I didn't even have my license that first year. I was 15, and right when I turned 16, I won my first Pro Light title.
Oh, I thought it was 17, but it was 16, huh?
Yeah, no, that I won my first one in 2014, and then I came back to Lucas. I got second in the championship in Pro Light. Then the next 2016 and 2017 won the Lucas title.
Dude, that's so crazy. Can you imagine not even having your driver's license and already having a vehicle championship?
Oh, it's unreal.
That's pretty cool, man. I mean, like, a lot of dudes do it on two wheels, you know, like amateur championships at Loretta Lynn's and things like that. But this is a total different aspect, man. It's like, what did you think when you reached those championships? Were you because you did it before Sheldon had his championships, right? So when I got into off-road, Sheldon was kind of like the young gun, but you were just ahead of him, right?
So Sheldon and I both won our championships the same year. So I won the East Coast championship, and then that same year he won the West Coast championship. And me and Sheldon are still, super good buds to this day. And I would honestly say, even like I started racing. Funny story. When I first went to my first race, I met Sheldon, and Sheldon knew nothing about the kid. And I just remember that day. We were over there, first day we met, we're over there wrestling, have each other in arm bars, throwing each other on the ground. To this day, man, if we see each other, all he wanted to do was, hey, let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Dude, that's funny.
I would say from day one, man, me and Sheldon always have been going at it. And those are the best times. We worked our way through Junior 1 trophy cart all the way up to Pro Law. Then he got into Pro 2 the year before me, and then I ended up buying that Pro 2 that he had. So, good times back in the day.
It's super cool when you can have those long-lasting relationships, and that's what he's teaching all these new kids coming up, right? Because those kids had the same attitude when they were out there on doing it at the Camp Racer too. Mm-hmm. We had a comment come in, or a question come in from John Lewis that said, Jerett, has any one of your championships stood out more than the other because of maybe some challenges that you've had throughout one year or another?
Yeah, I would say this last year's championship. So the 2020 championship was probably my most favorite, because we were able to build our own Pro 2. I hired on Tanner Stevens and Nick Tenbruin full time. Built my full shop. So that was rad. All Bailey industrial tooling, lathes, mills, everything. We built this truck from scratch, and
awesome.
I'm like, when we started out, I'm like, dude, there's no way, I mean, to build your own truck in your shop, that was just rad. And then come out with something totally different. I feel like that was the coolest part, because a lot of people, when I was posting photos, I mean, there's always people that say, that won't work, this won't work. And we came out, we didn't race it the full season because it wasn't done, but we started, 3/4 of the way through. And I would just say that was the most awesome, because, we're all young. I mean, my crew chief Tanner's, he's 30, Nick's 27, I'm 23. We're all young guns. We want to win, and we put so much work into this new truck, and it's bad to the bone. So I think by far the 2021 was, just because it's always been a dream of mine to have my own shop, my own crew, and to build a truck in house. I mean, that was gnarly. This is nothing like anyone else has built. We didn't buy this truck off of someone like. No, I obviously didn't build the whole thing. I'm not like a perfect fabricator or welder, but I did some welds on it. I built some parts, built some panels. I didn't. I did some work on the truck, so it's not like they did everything, but they did. Probably 95% of it.
That's awesome.
I love hearing that, though, dude, because when you get that level of commitment into your program, it just makes everything else feel that much better, right?
Oh,
I remember we have spent countless nights in the garage. Like, I've never welded. I've never been a fabricator, nothing. And I built every single one of my race cars except for 2.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see, like, and when somebody at his level, because I was just in UTVs, right? But at his level, being a full professional team, that's got to feel pretty dang gratifying, Rob.
And just from a leadership standpoint, I mean, you get your whole team to really buy in when the guy who's in charge is really getting in there, doing his own welding, doing his own work, doing his fab stuff. I mean, it's a lot more encouraging to buy in when you're on a crew where the leader and the driver is really just in there with you, elbows deep in this thing.
But how late was the nights that you guys stayed at the shop, man? You guys must have spent a lot of time there together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we first started building the truck, like frame rails, cab, and all that went quick. I'm like, dude, we're going to be done with this thing in no time. Like, we're killing it. And then, so man, all the little stuff that counts is
always
like tabs, just the little trick stuff that we had to build. I mean, we did honestly so much stuff one off. Like, I mean, the hubs to the rear end to the, we built all the A-arms, just legit everything, like the motor mounts, obviously the motor mounts, but, we had Chuck and Myles from CMI do a lot of trick stuff to mount the motor. Like, I honestly don't even know what stuff you can buy. You can buy like a rear end that we have, and I don't know. I mean,
that's awesome.
There's a lot of trick stuff on here that you can't buy. And if you do want to buy, you got to pay the price.
And you can't buy the knowledge that he has to make those trick components, right?
Fact, yeah. The only part that sucks is, man, if you break or tweak any of that, it's a lot of hours you got to go make another one.
Yeah, so that's actually what we've been doing in this off season. Since we are racing on the East Coast, the toughest part about this whole thing is we obviously have a shop here. We're set up. We have everything. And we start racing in June, and we don't, we race twice a week, or twice a month. So it's not like we can drive the truck back, drive it back and forth. So we got to set up shop out in Antigo, Wisconsin. So we're not going to have a shop. So this whole off season, we've been building spare parts, get everything spare. Because last year we really didn't have any spares. We showed up the track with our truck. We brought our spare truck because it didn't sell yet. So we showed up and just kind of crossed our fingers. And we had a few issues with just new truck blues, but we knew we were kind of expecting it was going to happen. So this year we pretty much have almost a spare of everything. Stuff can still happen, but we try to come as most prepared as we could. My guys built this spare cart rack where it has a rear end, front arm, spindles, axles, and it's all on a rolling cart. And dude, it is so sick where you just roll it in the hauler, roll it out, and just try to be as prepared as we could this year, which it's going to be hard this year because we do race twice a month. I live in California. We race in Wisconsin all the time. So it's going to be hard being away from the family. And, the thing that makes it worth it is fans. Like, the fans back there make me want to race back there. They're so amped that we're going to go back there. You just feel important back there.
That's super cool that he's thinking that.
Yeah, I've heard that about Midwest racing. That's why big tracks like Crandon are so huge, because they just get the huge crowds and they're just ravenous and just awesome. And even when I worked for the NHRA, I mean, Brainerd, Minnesota was one of the big tracks that
really?
Fans came out and it was like nuts. Yeah,
it's so grassroots out there. The only place I've ever been is Wheatland, and it was just like that, man. Like, they couldn't get enough of talking to everybody.
Yeah, I've heard that of Wheatland, Missouri too. Yeah, that track I hear is a great track.
So Jerett's going to have a lot of fun with the fans this year. It'll be cool to see your program elevate like that, man. It's really neat to hear you talking about how much work you're putting into it. And like right when you said, the rolling cart with the spares and stuff, I automatically start thinking about like Supercross and motocross, because like all those big teams have all those factory parts and like all that. Do. It's so cool to see that off-road teams can put that much effort and get that much value out of their program.
Oh yeah, yeah, you bet.
You tried to. Tried to.
Well, I guess you're kind of I don't know what you want to say, but that's on the leading edge of everybody that's doing the short course racing, because off-road is off-road, right? But there's some people that are doing it really well and some people that are doing it well. And it seems to me like you guys are starting to do it really well because of all of the things that you've learned in the past.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every year we learn something new, and it goes both ways. You put so much work into your program, but then you also have to do a lot of work on your social media. It's not just
Oh yeah.
That's why I try to teach these kids. It's not just about winning races. Like I've won a lot of races and championships, but dude, still finding budgets is so tough. At the end of the day, you got to be a race car driver. You got to be marketable. You got to have social media. You have to do videos. You have to do all this stuff. Where that's why in my camp I really tried to pin that on the kids. Like,
oh yeah,
do other stuff, guys. It's not just about winning because, yeah, I mean, like I said, when I was 17 years old, I had the most budget I ever had, and now it's a lot harder to. I don't get the budgets as like I used to, which is crazy. You would think differently now, but it's times are different, and you got to think outside the box and do something different. That's why I want to do Camp Racer. Bring in some other kids and try to teach them stuff and try to promote myself, promote my team that we're willing to help people. If people want their truck setups and tips, even with Pro 2s, we'll help them. I like to have as most competition as I can. That's why we're going on the East Coast. There's competition. There's going to be like 25 Pro 2s. And that's what people want to see is a big car count.
You bet they do. Yeah,
Dude,
more competition.
Not to mention how amped are you to have freaking 20 dudes on the track? That's sick.
I mean, I'm amped just because, a lot of my buddies around here, they see short course and they don't care. They don't really care about it. They know about it. They're all into Supercross. But when they see short course, they're like, dude, how many guys are on the track? Like 8 guys, 9 guys. I'm like, well, yeah, they're all fast. Like, they're all badass dudes.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. It's not as cool when you're racing 8 trucks versus 25 trucks.
Dude, it's going to be
Myles.
It's going to What's up, Myles? How are you, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah, going back to what Jerett was just saying too, all my buddies are moto guys, so they always give me a hard time just a little bit, call it a quad and all that good stuff, but
yeah. But it's totally different too, right? Like I don't remember who I was talking to, somebody, but anyways, it was actually one of the guys. His name is Mitch Wise. He bought one of my YXZs from me. Like I grew up riding dirt bikes and stuff with him, but he actually got to do his first side-by-side race ever this weekend. It was just the AZOP race, so like the local desert thing in Arizona, kind of like Works. And he called me after the races, and he goes, dude, that was literally the funnest thing I've ever done. And he's been on 2 wheels his whole life, and he loved it so much.
That's rad.
It's pretty cool to see. So not everybody is a quad god in in this off-road world. So I can't read the full comment, but they're asking if you were going to do any of the Great American Short Course Series here in California.
I might towards the end of the year. I won't be able to do the second one because we're going to go on the East Coast and test. So it's just too big of a crunch time to race 2 weeks and then go back on the East Coast. So, there's a break at the end of the year. The Champ Series ends, and then there's going to be 2 more rounds for the Great American Gas Series. So we might show up. I don't know. It's hard. It's so expensive to run Pro 2, and just, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We might show up, but as of now, it's not in my budget to show up. So I'm not going to go below my budget if I don't have anything in return. Now we look at racing where it's like, it's fun to race, but it costs so much to race that you really need your partners to support you. So that's kind of where we're at. We might show up, we might not.
Seeing how the off weekends, like you got to spend some time with your family and stuff too. But like seeing how awesome that Camp Racer was, and you had your whole family out there. It was like really dedicated to the kids and everybody else, and giving back to the off-road community. Like in my opinion, I would almost rather focus on that on your off weekends because you're really giving back and helping a lot of people with that. I mean, even Myles got to go out and help you too.
Yeah, Myles was a huge help. I figured, I obviously race UTVs. I want to race UTVs. That's the goal one day because I feel like there's so many partners that are into it, and I know Myles is one of the best UTV drivers. So why not have him come out and teach? Well, he knows how to drive UTVs. I mean, I drive UTVs, but I've never raced them. So Myles came out, and you can talk about it, Myles. How
that's one of the things that Myles
it was so much fun.
I went out on the track to Myles, and I was like, dude, 4 wheels is like cheating. He's like, yep, UTVs.
Oh, no, I was honestly getting a little jealous. I was watching all the kids rip around. So just leaving the camp, there's already like 5 or 6 things I wish I could have done different that we could do next time or whatever. But definitely want to get my car out there, run laps on the track before the day even gets started, so I can get an idea of all the heads in my line too.
That's actually a good idea, though. I wonder if you'd have some of the kids follow you around and just do like a pace lap so they could see where to go, like following Myles. That'd be pretty sick.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hey, so Jacob Delzer just chimed in and said, who was or is your favorite short course racer to race against? Jacob, he actually already answered that question about 15 minutes ago, so hit the rewind button when this thing becomes an archive, buddy. It was Rob McCachran. Don't you wish you could race Rob McCachran too, Myles?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things that I wish I could have done is race Pro 2 back in the day, especially against Rob and Marty Hart, all those other legends of the sport too.
Yeah, for sure. We had another comment come in on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it said, be careful from CJ Greaves in the UTVs. I think Myles had a chance to race CJ in the UTVs, and you've raced him in the big trucks, haven't you, Jerett?
Yeah. Me and CJ raced in 2014 when I was on the East Coast, and we had some super good battles, man. He's a super fast guy over on the East Coast, and it was fun. I'll be racing him against Pro 2 versus Pro 4 shootout this year at Crandon. So,
dude, that's gonna
if they catch me, I'll be blocking.
That's gonna be wild, dude.
Oh yeah, that one's gnarly.
One of our fans commented, Eric Lundvall said, are you guys into RC cars?
Yeah, that's I got my little A-scale. That's more my outdoors one, but I got a T5, so every once in a while, used to go to OCRC like literally once a week, so I haven't been there in a little bit, but that was another little fun tool that you can kind of incorporate into a little bit of training too.
How about you, Jerett?
Sure.
You like
I used
RCs?
to be super into RC cars. I used to just have stacks of RC cars, and then as I got older, I just started throwing them away one by one because they were mostly all broken. But now my little kid, he's super into RC cars, so I let him drive for like 5 minutes. I got one of them little speed RC cars. Those things are badass, and he just drove it right into a wall and busted the whole front end off. So it's been out of the count. It was only out of the box for 5 minutes.
Dude,
that's pretty much what I get out of.
I feel like that's like legit every kid though, because you and I did that, Myles did that, Rob did that, we all did that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keegan Kincaid commented and said, Rob will be back. So Keegan, actually Rob's going to come on the show just after San Felipe here, so we're going to talk to him and see what his plans are. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Hey, so I still want to have like a whole bunch of conversation with you, Jerett. So I think what we should probably do, what do you think? We should get Jerett Brooks back on the show,
100%. Yeah, he's great.
So I think he should be in studio one of these days when he gets a little bit more free time. But I got a secret for you guys. I don't know if I told you. I told Rob. You want to play Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader again, Jerett and Myles?
Oh man, you're gonna do us? You're gonna do us like that right now,
dude? Hey, so we're talking about the kids, and one of the fans of the show, and one of my best buds, Caden Danbury, he races the Work Series in a Polaris Razor. He wanted to do it, man. So I said, yeah, no problem. He was gonna come up here and do it with us, but unfortunately, he had some issues with his parents. So I'm not gonna say he was in timeout, but he's kind of in timeout. So we're gonna at least give him a shot and have you guys try and answer some of these questions. All right?
All right, let's hear it.
All right. You guys ready, Rob?
Yeah,
so
I'm ready.
The rules are, and Jerett and Myles already know this, so Rob's a newbie here, that your name is your buzzer. First question, who invented the light bulb?
Rob.
All right, Rob.
Thomas Edison.
Ooh, Rob got the whole shot already, boys. You guys got to step it up. All right.
You got a good jump.
Dude, he did. He really.
Hey, hold on. It's a little unfair because
Do they have a delay?
you guys are like toe to toe. There's a slight lag.
Yeah, there's a lag. So do we have to have like a minimum like sandbag? Like I gotta wait 2 seconds to do it, or what?
How about give them a little bit more of an advantage? Let's wait 4 seconds. So we'll give them a little bit more of an advantage.
All right.
Or if you want, you can read the questions and ask them with me.
Yeah, we can
You
just
wanna
do
just
it.
do
Be a
that?
little bit
Sorry,
more
I'm sorry
fair.
I couldn't hear.
All right.
Oh, Thomas Edison.
All right.
I was
So
gonna get it wrong too, probably.
Rob got demoted. He's going to be a host just like me. So it's you two against each other. So go ahead and ask question number 2.
All right. Gallon of water weighs how many pounds?
Oh,
What did you say?
A gallon of water weighs how many pounds?
Oh, miles. 16.
Oh, that was close, but no. Jerett, you can
No,
you can chime in.
Oh wait, a gallon.
How much does a gallon of water weigh?
Oh, dude, you're gonna phone a friend already?
Oh, dude.
You're
come
phoning
on.
a friend
Come
right
on,
away?
man.
I can't really hear very well, dude, honestly.
All right. Crank up your phone volume.
Yeah. Yeah, we were asking how
You got your
many.
dad next to you calling out. I
Yeah,
was
no.
going to say 7.
Shit. Dude, Miles' dad's online right here giving away all the answers
Yeah,
already,
he
dude.
is.
I was going to say 7, but I don't even know. I don't.
It was close. It was 8.
That's closer. Yeah, it's 8.
Answer's 8.
That's funny. Hey, Chuck's already trying to give away all the answers, dude.
Chuck's in his ear whispering.
Dude, he pretty much is. All right, can you guys hear me, both of you?
Yeah, I got
Yes.
What is the primary difference between ocean water and tap water?
you.
Jerett.
Miles, you can go.
Yeah, Jerett got the
Say
little jump.
salt?
Oh, yeah, you got it,
Boom.
dude. Go to question number 6.
All right.
I for sure thought I was getting that one wrong.
Nah, dude,
No,
that,
that would be like some pH level or something.
yeah, I thought it was going to get all crazy, but you got to remember, like, don't overthink it because these are third grader questions. So what are we at now? Are we tied up?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks
I
like
don't know.
1-1.
Actually,
I think
no,
Jared's
Miles did
leading.
not get that first one.
Nah.
No, that's true. He didn't.
Yeah. All right, what's the
I would say I'm 1 up because I didn't get that
Yeah,
other
1 up.
either.
Jarrett's 1 up.
all right, Jarrett's got one.
All right, here's one. What is the freezing point of water?
Oh, Miles. 32 degrees.
Dang, Miles is on
Nailed it.
fire right now.
Nailed it. See, you were wanting me to give him
That's
4
impressive you
seconds,
do
dude.
that.
That was like a half second, and he was on it.
That's impressive.
That's when it snows.
Dude, Miles is like, yeah, I'm never going to try to compete against Miles, dude. Hey, when we played Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader at the track, you won against Trevor Layton, right, Miles?
Yeah, I think I barely beat Trevor.
Dude, I think Miles is probably he's going to be like the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader champion at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to make a trophy or something for that.
All right. Well, PRP actually wants to start making trophies for the Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader, so we'll see if Aaron Wedeking wants to give us some trophies. Okay. Next question.
Oh, of course.
What is the force that causes objects to fall to the ground?
Miles, gravity.
Damn, dude, he is on fire.
See, there's no delay.
good.
These guys were just.
I was there, though. I was there.
Dude. So somebody chimed in and said, what is the color red? Jerett, I don't know. Who is that? I don't know who it is. CH Arley or something
I
like
can't
that?
see that.
You don't got to blow me out of the water that bad.
Yeah.
Do you know that dude?
Charlie Stone's in shade.
I don't know. I think he's actually from Wisconsin, so
Oh.
I don't know. I think I know.
Dude, the fans are already getting at you, dude. When you get up there, dude, Charlie have to come in and see. George, if you don't have the answers, you lose. I would definitely be losing. Miles would be smoking me. So I think we're on number 8 now.
Number 8? All right. The United States and Mexico are separated by which river?
The United States and Mexico are separated by which river?
Jerett?
I don't even know. All right, Jerett.
No. I'm not actually sure. I'm not going to spit out anything.
It kind of sounds like a taco shop.
I was
Sounds like a what?
I was saying like Colorado's close, but I don't run anywhere near there.
All right, so I'll give you. It's
I'm not
El
sure on that.
Paso River? I don't
no,
know.
it's kind of close though. The last word is grand.
Grand.
Yeah. What comes before it? There's a word
Rio
before
Canyon?
it. No, there's a word before it. It's a 3-letter word.
Probably Rio Grande
Oh,
or something.
There it is.
Jarrett got it.
Hey.
Someone told me.
Oh, really?
Powers. Connor Powers, help me out on that one.
I can't see the comments because
Hey.
they're coming through too quick.
Yeah,
but
they're fired up.
Aspen said,
That's just using myself to the advantage.
"Yeah,
The
dude."
fans want to help me out. Comment quick.
Aspen just chimed in and said something about Roxon, but I couldn't catch the comment quick enough. So, all right, this one's a good one. I don't know if either of you guys know this, but what's the capital of Nevada?
Carson City.
Oh, man. He's killing it, dude.
Did you get help for that on that one?
No,
He's killing
Dude,
it.
how would you know that?
we had to learn in like 4th grade or something, and just
He's
one of the
he's
things
younger
I
than
picked
me.
up.
You remember that stuff.
Somebody said phone a racer. I don't think phone an eraser is the best option
Yeah,
here.
right.
Phone like somebody else, like the racer's parents or something. All right, what's the last question? So I think this one's for all the marbles. Who are you tied up now?
Yeah, he's pretty well ahead of him, I think.
Yeah, I think we're about tied up.
Already tied?
All right,
I thought he was beating
this
him.
is going to be the last lap pass. Whoever wins this gets
Here
the
we go.
championship.
All right, in what country is the famous Taj Mahal located?
Ooh, I think I might know this one.
Where's the Taj Mahal?
Country?
Yeah,
Yes.
the country.
What do you say?
Is it India?
Boom. That's it, dude.
He didn't use his name as a buzzer. Does he get a
Wow.
penalty? You got it right,
I
dude.
don't know.
That's impressive, dude. You're pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you guys both got way more. Like, when I was looking at these questions, I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm so glad that I'm the host and don't have to compete, because I would never be able to keep up with Jerett and Myles in these games, dude. That was pretty good, though.
You could keep up with me.
I don't know about that,
was
dude.
impressive.
It takes me a long time to process stuff these days. Well, good job, boys. We're going to have to go ahead and get a championship trophy made at some point. Honestly, I feel bad for most of these guys, because Myles been doing so freaking awesome at this. I don't know how long this whole Instagram feed can last, Jerett. I think it's only like 60 minutes. So we probably only got 5 or so minutes left. One of the things that I wanted
Keep it
to
going
ask.
as long as we can.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good. So one of the things that I wanted to ask was, how is it like, well, maybe ask this question to both of you guys, because I know Jerett knows a little bit about your program, and obviously he works hard on his program, or excuse me, Myles does. How hard is it for you guys to keep focused on the racing portion of your programs when you have to be so in deep with developing the cars, the sponsorships, and all of these different parts of your program?
That's a good one, man. Luckily, I'm very fortunate because I have 2 full-time guys that really handle the main aspect of having my car ready for the races. And, I obviously help load up and help do whatever I can help with, but I'm actually trying to learn the trade on, learn the company business a little bit. So I'm pretty thankful of having my guys work on the truck, but where I come into play is trying to find partners and money to keep this team going. So that's really the hardest part is the racing part. I think is the easy part. Finding partners and getting sponsors, especially during all this COVID stuff, is by far the hardest part. And it's something that you don't really think about until the time comes. And I mean, honestly, budgets are gone by December. So right now is when you need to start finding partners. I haven't even raced yet, and I need to start finding partners for the next year. That's where it's like, you can race all you want. If you don't have the money to race, then you're not racing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And Rob sitting next to me, I mean, he's on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, he accepts all these resumes and deals with all these people. And do you agree with that, though?
Oh, yeah. I tell him, shoot it to us in September, because by December we were already locked in.
Yeah.
We're already done, so we get people even now hey, I'm about to start this season, can you sponsor me? And I'm like, well, shoot me your marketing deck and your proposal in August, September.
Yeah.
And we'll look over it, because we've already spent our budget for this year.
All the money's already gone.
Yeah.
Jerett makes a good point, though, too, with all the COVID stuff. It's that much harder, right? Because I've known a bunch of people in the industry for many years, and a lot of them in positions similar to yours, in any of the marketing or sponsorship positions, they've all said the same things. We don't know what's going to happen with our job, let alone what can happen with the stuff that we're dealing out with all of these other people that we sponsor.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Look at me. I got laid off from K&N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really true. What about you, Myles? What's the difference between, or what's the hardest thing about you, concentrating on your racing, since you're so in deep with your program?
So kind of in the similar boat as Jerett. I have someone that's at the shop full time working on the car. So I do what I can. I mount some tires, groove them up, and little stuff like that. But it's more once I get in the motorhome, start driving to the track, and once I actually get to the track, that's when I start thinking about the race a lot more. Start thinking of all the different possibilities. since we're doing the land rush starts, I try to vision that a little bit more, just all the different scenarios that could happen in the first corner. But having Tim, it's without him, there's no way we could be able to do this, especially with the 2 cars now. Just so much work.
Yeah, I believe that. Have you guys ever had the ability to, like, when you just started saying, like, how you imagine the race and stuff, have you guys ever had the chance to drive against each other in any racing other than, well, Pro Lights, I think you did, right?
Yeah, we did about 2 races in Pro Lights, then a handful of mod kart races, Junior 2 races. So I was a little bit younger than Jerett, so I'd say he had the upper hand on me when we were back in the junior karts and stuff. But definitely want to get out there and who knows, maybe get a truck, try and do the Crandon Cup with him. So
whoa, look at that!
Definitely a bucket list thing I want to do.
Hey,
Miles got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, he
He's holding
does.
on to.
Uh-oh. Do you know that Jerett has
Nothing yet, but
His spare car, right?
Jerett has a backup truck.
Backup truck, dude.
Hey, I sold it.
Oh.
I tried to have him buy it, and I tried to have him run the cup race. Actually, no, I take that back. He did want to run the cup race, but I actually didn't have any spares for my truck, and I actually kind of closed the deal because I didn't want to have any problems with my truck, which we did. We did rip off the front end. So, but no, Miles actually was going to run my Pro 2 last year at the Cup. So,
Dude,
that was my fault.
That same dude, Charlie, he's redeeming himself. He says, "Yeah, buddy, JB will win." I don't know, Miles. Now he's talking trash on you. He's boosting Jerett now, and now he's going.
Jerett didn't want me out there last year. He didn't want to get beat by his little truck.
Oh,
It's fast, dude. It's fast.
Hey, so didn't Doug Matag do that to Kyle LeDuc too? Hey, you never ever want to sell your truck to competition that could beat you, right?
Oh yeah.
That would be tough.
Yeah, but
I think it'd be good though. I mean, we need more people in the series and more competition. So I mean, if you can sell your truck for a good price and I mean, it's not fun to race if you don't have competition. So more trucks out there equals more sponsors looking at you, which equate to, bigger budgets.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Hey, I think we only got a couple minutes left on this Instagram live feed. So Corey Clark says, what's up, Dirt Life? Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I appreciate both of you guys. Maybe as our last question, you guys can both answer. Miles, you go first. What was your favorite part of Camp Racer?
Favorite part about Camp Racer?
In 30 seconds or less.
Just getting to work with all the young kids hasn't been something I've been able to do before. So just like what you guys were saying earlier, like seeing how happy those kids were when they're getting out of the cars and they're saying like, oh yeah, just drop 2 seconds, just drop 3 seconds. Seeing the dads come back with pulling up the lap times on the little aim dashes and all that stuff. So that was probably my favorite part about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was when we first started, we put cones out on the track and kind of explained to these kids, got them uncomfortable, got them on lines, like got them super close up to the wall where, they mostly don't run. So one session, we got them up by the wall. Miles was in another turn doing different stuff. I said, okay, Miles, next session, do the complete opposite. So when Miles used to race, we would run the same line every time we hit the track because, it gets locked in your brain. So we moved these kids around. And then for the last session, the one-on-one sessions, we had them no cones on the track and let them do whatever they wanted to do. And that was cool because, they actually put every puzzle piece pretty much together. And that was rad because same thing what Miles said is they came up to us afterwards. They were so pumped. And when they showed us their lap times, they're like, dude, we gained 2.5 seconds. I'm like, dude, that's rad. And every kid improved a lot. Like,
oh yeah,
I was impressed. Like, we were
awesome,
pushing these kids pretty hard to drive into the turns. And, hopefully these kids remember everything and they'll remember it. And, it was fun. So I think I know for sure the next one, promise you guys, it's going to be way better than this. We already have everything planned out. Miles will be there. And, we got some cool stuff planned out for the next one.
Dude, it's awesome. Yeah, and the parents got a bunch of secrets too. So that little Bible that you gave with them, man, I know that's going to go far in all their racing careers. So, hey, thank you boys both very much for joining us. Thanks for sharing all of your inside scoop, your Camp Racer, and all your race program stuff with us, Jerett. We'll definitely have to get a little bit more into your backstory and how you got into off-road racing one of these days. We'll have Miles and you come in the studio one of these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd love to come down there and check out your guys' new place.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys
Have a
very
good one,
much,
fellas.
man. Sorry I make it.
Yeah, no worries, dude. I really hope that you get all the stuff worked out with the motor and get out there and put that thing in the dirt. Get your dirt life going in that new truck.
Heck yeah, man. We'll be on the dyno in the morning. So.
All right, we'll see you boys later.
Later, man. See you, Miles.
Oh yeah, see you, Brooks.
So that was super cool, man.
Dude, so rad.
I want to thank everybody for coming on and kind of joining us. It was a little bit weird having like the Instagram live inside this whole Facebook thing and everything, but I think it actually worked out pretty decent.
I was going to say the same. Yeah, it was pretty dialed in there. Not really too bad of a delay or anything. It was very much a flowing conversation.
I kind of wish that we could have had like some more people or some more like bigger screen or whatever so you could see it better, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Right.
So hopefully you guys enjoy it on the audio version too. Jacob Delzer chimed in. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to his question with Jerett, but is there much CNC or CAD involved in building and designing those trucks? And there's
tons,
a ton. Yeah,
tons. Yeah.
Massive amounts. They don't just like cut pipes and just weld it together thinking that they're going to build a good truck. I mean, maybe that's the way it went back in the day, but and you know what? I'm just going to leave the Instagram live going.
Yeah, run it. Let it run until they kick us off.
Yeah, so they can see, they can at least pay attention to what's going on here, and I can get a little bit more info on how long the Instagram live lasts for. It is pretty cool to see that Jerett's putting that much effort into his racing program.
Absolutely.
When you're young, he said he was what, 23?
Yeah.
24?
Yeah, 23.
Like, could you imagine running not just a business, a racing organization? You have employees. You have to learn how to, well, just like Jacob said, design a truck, whether it's CAD, welding, any of that stuff. Like, you have to know all this stuff, and you have to be a professional race car driver.
Oh, yeah, and he's driving the thing.
And he's that young. How phenomenal is that?
Living the dream, baby. He's earning it, though. Working his tail off, man.
Earning it, I think that's going to be like the story of the night, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Earning it, man.
Yeah, earning it.
He's taking all the stuff that he earns and learns and giving it back to the kids, too.
He is.
That's pretty bitchin', man. I'm so stoked on his program. Every time we have one of these shows, like, sometimes I'm nervous when I get on the show. Sometimes I'm wanting to understand. I don't know what the guest is going to act like.
Right.
But in this case, like, there's a lot of times when I leave the show, like, I'm so amped for him. Like, I kind of wish I was in Vegas now, like being with their program because
rocking and rolling
gets you so stoked.
Yeah.
All right. So since we weren't able to like have Jerett in the studio and do the rapid fire Q&A to end the show, how about we do it with you, buddy?
Oh, sure.
We'll do a rapid fire Q. It's not quite as hard as their third grader questions.
It's tough.
A little easier. So all right, Actually, if you guys have any questions, too, that you want to ask Jerett now or you want us to answer on the show, my boy Rob, yeah. So people chiming in, buddy.
Hey, Big AJ.
See. Are you guys going to the gas at Glen Helen? Yeah, I think Rob is.
I plan on it, absolutely. Yeah.
And I would like...
22nd?
It's 22nd?
Of May, I believe. Isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look
I
at the
believe
calendar.
it's May 22nd, yeah.
But yeah, I would like to go too. My schedule is so freaking stacked right now. I got to make sure that I have enough time, but I would definitely like to go. Maybe we both cruise up there and hang out.
Yeah.
The only problem is they don't have tacos up.
I was just going to say, man, we got to see if there's a taco joint truck
like
that's going to be up
Helen.
there or something. Yeah, something.
For real. So thanks very much to Jerett Brooks for coming on the show. It was a little bit different than usual, but I'm really glad that we were able to get him to give us some insight on what's happening with his program, what they're doing for 2021, and the level of stoke that guy has is phenomenal. He's a pretty mellow dude, but you can tell that he's excited.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And thanks for Myles coming on, too. Seeing those guys teaching the kids at Camp Racer was just really cool, man.
So cool they're giving back like that, man.
And they're young and they're giving back, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than that.
And they're still learning. Shoot.
I know, right?
That's what's awesome about it, yeah. As they learn new stuff, they're passing that immediately down.
It's super, super cool. All right, so let's do a rapid-fire Q&A, buddy.
Sure.
All right, so Rob McLogan from Liquimoly. We're going to go rapid-fire Q&A. Dunes or the river?
Can I do both?
No, it's got to be one. And it's got to be rapid fire. Boom, boom.
All right, Dunes.
Going Dunes? Yeah. What car are you taking out there?
I don't have one yet. I used to have a YZ250. I used to rip around out there.
Oh, you're going dirt bikes?
Yeah, my boys, GlamOusDunes.com crew. We used to
nice.
Go down there and, tear it up. My buddy Matt.
So on Thursday, we got Dune and Destroy for an Instagram Live. Check it out there.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
You comment in and see if they go as big as you.
Oh, I don't. I'm 30-something years old, man. I'm too old to be.
What were you doing when you had the YZ250? Were you going big then or no?
I wasn't like super good. I didn't grow up riding. So really? Yeah, I got that thing when I was like 23. And I was doing, I was hitting whoops and stuff, but I wasn't doing no crazy jumps or nothing because I still had to work. I was working 3 jobs trying to go through school.
You're not trying to miss work on Monday?
If I blow out my knee, I'm toast, dude. I can't afford to live.
Dude, I remember those YZ250s. We had some fun at the dunes way back in the day. And I remember just having that thing ringed out in fifth gear, like as fast as you could go, just hitting like just dune to dune, man. It was so big. It was
so awesome.
It was pretty cool because it was about the closest thing you can get to flying, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll take it from you because I never sent it that hard.
So John Lewis commented in and said gas May 23rd, 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah. There you go, John. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, thanks, man. He's been helping out, giving us a lot of research.
He's killing it, man.
3-wheeler or quad?
3-wheeler. Got to go with the old school 250Rs.
Dude, I've been saying this every time we have that answer, death machines.
Yeah.
You watch Supercross and Motocross, right?
Yeah. We have a team JMC Motorsports and Supercross, baby. You bet I'm watching.
I'm going to ask 2 questions then.
Okay.
Since they're both out right now, Cianciarulo or Osborne?
Cianciarulo. Super nice guy.
Number 9.
I haven't met Osborne, but when I was working for Monster, dude, Cianciarulo was one of the only riders that took his time to talk to us, say hi, how's it going, guys?
Just natural,
super
nice
rad,
dude.
Super rad dude. It kills me to see him struggle with injuries so much because it's not a guy that I want to see win more.
Yeah, you really do root for the nice guy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, since they're both on track right now, Roczen or Webb?
Can I go neither? No, I'm just kidding. I'll go Roczen.
You're going Tomac? You're a Tomac guy?
No, I mean, I used to I'll go Roczen.
You're going Roczen?
Yeah, Tomac's cool, but yeah, Roczen.
So
if I had to pick the 2.
I always have I'm always on the fence about both Webb and Roczen because I like Webb's mentality and his racecraft.
Guy's a killer, man.
But then how can you deny Roczen because he's got so much adversity that he's faced and he's just still killing it.
If I had to go with any guy, Malcolm Stewart's one of the coolest dudes in Supercross.
That's your guy?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Malcolm Stewart's
one of the
your guy?
nicest guys out there, dude. He's awesome. So genuine.
He is rad.
Yeah.
And he's got personality for days,
dude, so
rad. Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Poppers.
You going poppers?
Yeah.
I'm going poppers all day, too.
Bacon wrap poppers, baby.
Ooh, bacon wrap?
Oh, you bet.
Nice. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite soda?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew? What about Cactus Cooler? That's why
Cactus Cooler is a close second, dude. That's some good stuff, dude.
Yeah, and Cactus Cooler is like the low-hanging fruit that nobody remembers, right?
Yeah, dude. When I was a kid, it was kind of hard to find, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it was like when you got one, you're like, yes, it's so good.
Found it!
Yes, exactly.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Shoot, man. One superpower? I mean, I guess I don't know. That's tough. Super strength, I guess.
Super strength. Well, I feel like we have a superpower right now because the Instagram Live is still going.
Dude, it's
it's been longer than 60 minutes.
It's the digital marketing superpower that I have right now, I guess.
I know something. Man, you're giving us the. But who knows? Maybe it won't allow us to save it to IGTV or something.
Who knows? But at least they're getting it live, baby.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That means that we might have another option to be sharing our dirt life with people now.
Sure.
So I'll have to get a new camera lens, but we'll see what happens.
Sweet.
Uggs or Crocs?
And I guess Uggs.
Going Uggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I don't have either.
If you're a dune guy.
I always had just a ratty pair of Nike SBs I'd wear out there.
Oh, dude, I feel you.
Yeah.
So this was. Have you ever done a race raced any off-road stuff?
No, I have not, unfortunately.
What was the most memorable event that you've been to then?
That I've been to? Sebring this year was tough to beat, man. That was awesome getting to know Joe Stevens and the Stevens-Miller team.
Really?
It was really awesome, dude. Like you were talking about earlier, the uncertainty of people losing their jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to the guy, and we had a really cool conversation, and he was just he got almost to the point where he's emotional. He's like, man, these guys are all my best friends. These guys are all my brothers. And I'm scared. I was scared because when COVID happened, because I didn't want to have to tell them, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have work for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was such an uncertain and scary time for him. And it made me respect the heck out of him as a team owner and as, because, that he loves his guys that much. And that it was that much of a struggle for him and battle for him.
Absolutely. And he wasn't one of those guys that was just like, oh, COVID, we don't need you anymore. Yeah. He was really concerned about him. That's super cool that, You got to love that family atmosphere. I mean, that's literally the reason that we started the Dirt Life as a podcast, was because I love the camaraderie and I guess it's the motorsports world, right? But like the off-road stuff that I'm used to, like it just made me so happy to be able to have all these great guests, people like yourself, come on the show and just talk about stuff that we all really passionate about.
Absolutely.
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Lately, I'm a mint chip guy.
Mint chip? Yeah. I wasn't going to think that. I was thinking you were more like pralines and cream or something.
I am lactose intolerant, so I don't eat it a whole ton. Otherwise, everyone else in the room suffers.
What about Froyo then?
Froyo, yeah. There's a great place in Claremont we got to go to, 21 Choices.
Ooh.
They got a circus animal cookie one where it's like they
off the chain.
Oh, bro. They just like mix it all up and they crush it up in there, and it's just rad.
Dude, since we're talking about kids so much tonight, I always think it's so funny when you go to like those ice cream stores that you can have self-serve, and the kids will get like, I don't know, just whatever. Like, let's just say they get strawberry sherbet or something, and then they go and they put Oreos on it, which is totally just not matched, and then they'll put gummy worms, and then they'll like put sprinkles.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like that type of like attitude that they come out of there with, like no holds barred, and like nothing matches. I'm like, that type of creativity is what all us adults need.
Yep, literally a kid in a candy store, man.
Yep, 100%, right? Dogs or cats?
Dogs all day.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Go on Netflix. Are you into something like, the F1 series? What is Drive to Survive?
F1 for me, I used to follow it, but it's one of those that got so technologically advanced. It's not exciting anymore.
Have you seen Drive to Survive on Netflix?
Have not,
dude.
Did you see the Senna? It's just called Senna. The like biography they did, phenomenal, dude.
Okay, I'm into that tonight then.
Yeah, check it out,
dude. That sounds so awesome.
I'll check out the Drive to Survive one. That's cool.
There's 3 series, so it's going to take a while. But burrito or taco?
Taco for sure.
All right, so I did a little Instagram story. I don't know if you're able to post it, but about our tacos today, man, they were super, super good.
Oh yeah, they were.
So I'll have to share that when we get done with the show. Supercross or motocross?
Supercross. Got to pull for my JMC boys, you know.
Yeah. 100%, man. Yep. How are they doing this year?
They had a couple injuries, man. It's been tough. They're actually on their like alternate rider right now because their first 2 guys got hurt.
Were they able to field some other ones?
Martin Costello, one of their dudes, like he had to have surgery and stuff, so his season's over. I've been talking to him a little bit, but they got their 3rd guy, and it's just it's been tough. You know what I mean? And I'm really pulling for him every day. I'll be watching tomorrow, and yeah.
Supercross on Tuesday. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What other form of racing? Well, I guess, would you like to be a part of, or would you like to try?
I'd like to be. It's funny because, like, in all these interviews with these companies, like when I was interviewing with K&N, Liquimoly, like one of the questions I get is, what kind of racing do you like? And it just sounds so corny when I'm like, all of it,
yeah.
But I like dirt track racing, off-road racing is bitching, all kinds of stuff, man.
So we had a couple people commented, like, I'm a big monster truck fan.
Like,
I
awesome.
like monster truck.
Got to.
And then one guy was commenting in on those, I don't know what they're called, the speedboats that go on those tracks and they just like whip to the side.
I remember that podcast. Yeah, when they have the course in the grass and it's like, if those things flip, dude, you can like drown, dude.
I've seen those guys wad and they have like the little roll cage like a Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
But those things are freaking crazy.
It's insane, yeah.
I wonder how much one of those boats costs.
I forget what it's called, but yes, I remember that.
Oh, yeah, and John Hooper said...
watch Santa, 100%.
All right, dude. I'm going to have to check it out then. All right, man. The last question of the night.
Uh-oh.
I think I already know your answer, but chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Oh, chips and guac for sure.
All day.
All day or day.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Like I said, I didn't know how the Instagram Live was going to go, having it all inside Facebook. I don't know. Well, it went pretty good. I'm glad that Jerett was able to still make the show and comment in and have a little bit of time with us. Thank you guys for joining us on every single one of these platforms that you guys joined us on. You guys are our lifeblood, man. I say it every day or every show, and I really, really mean it, man. We can't do it without you guys. So the more you guys participate with us, comment in, like our photos, pictures, just join us, man. We really, really appreciate it because it helps us out so much and it keeps us going. There's times when you guys have bad days at work. There's times when this guy has bad days at work. There's times when Rob has bad days at work. So all these messages and all these comments and stuff mean so much to us because it keeps us going and it makes us want to bring all these fantastic guests to you. So
and John Lewis, thank you for your input. Sprint boats, baby. He's got it. Dude, he's a stud, dude. We got to have him in here as he's like the guy on Monday Night Football who does all the analytics and comes up with the crazy stats and
he
knows everything behind the scenes.
He's like way smarter than all of us too, because like I'll be driving somewhere, I'll post a story on Instagram or something. He'll be like, "Nah, dude, that was wrong. It's this answer." I'm like, "Yes, thank you so much for the info." So John, thanks John for doing that. So like I said, thank you to all of our sponsors too that help us out, man. The guys at KMC, the guys at EFX Tires, those guys do such a great job with all their products, their marketing, and supporting other riders and drivers and all of their things that they have going on. So thank you to Ryan and Ryan over there. Thank you to Justin at Shock Therapy and all of his team. Those guys do a fantastic job on all the UTV shocks and suspension components, man. They're just blowing up, doing such a great job.
Yeah, so my friend Lauren works for them, and she really kills it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's super cool too. So thank you very much to everybody at Shock Therapy. Thank you to all the guys over at Zollinger Racing Products, Travis and all his team over there. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at Shock Therapy and at Zollinger. Both their websites, shocktherapist.com, DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Thank you very much to the guys at Cryo Heat. They do such a great job, and I'm ecstatic to see if they can do a land speed record with Adam and his wife. It's going to be just cool to see that type of, I don't know what you want to call it, activity in a UTV. Mm-hmm. So, and thank you to the guys at Solder Weld. Really appreciate it. Next week's guest, we're going to have Ryan from KMC Wheels come on, and we're going to go down and hang out at Christian Serapis' shop.
Awesome.
It's going to be really cool because we're going to talk trophy trucks. We're going to talk about San Felipe review. We're going to talk about them now getting into UTV racing. It's just going to be racing galore.
Rad. Heck yeah, man.
So we can't wait. And thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me, man. We got somebody who just said, thanks for putting on a great show. Thanks, man. It wouldn't be possible without guys like you. Yeah. You and John and all these people, Corey. Thanks a bunch, guys. We really appreciate the support of the show, and you guys really make it what it is.
Dude, that was right there. That was like all time. Maybe we should have you host the show from now on because you're doing a way better job than me. No, you're killing it, man.
I wouldn't say all. I just mean it, dude. Yeah, they're awesome.
You did great, and thank you to Jason Hess for also helping out and
100%
doing all the stuff that he does for Liquimoly as well. So, all right, guys, we want to thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.